Well, I grew up in Guatemala. As I walked through the streets, everywhere around me there were people that were in need, whether they were disabled or they were hungry, they were beggars. Noticing this from very early on, I was aware of this huge need in Guatemala.
Having access to healthcare in Guatemala is really difficult, especially with the needs that we see here. So a lot of these families, they really see this as the only opportunity once a year that they can have their kids, taken care.
People always ask, why hands?
A lot of Guatemalans don't have much education, so their only option is to become manual laborers.
And without their hands, they can never make a living.
And we come down to Guatemala, we screen many children from different areas of the country, some from the city, some from the small villages. A lot of them have problems from malnutrition, they're born with a lot of congenital deformities. And we also see a lot of traumatic problems, whether it be from fractures, injuries, electrical burns, and open flame burns.
The surgery we do down here on children is really to allow them to lead normal lives. Many of them have birth defects where they can't use their hand or their thumb the way normal people can. We can do operations to make them more functional so they can be a productive member of society.
The role of the hand therapist in this mission is to make sure that all the wonderful procedures that are performed by our surgeons are followed through. So here in Guatemala, we will make sure that after the surgery, the kids get any type of splinting they need, that the family has the education they need, that we send them home with programs, exercises, all the tools that they'll need to then help resume that normal function. Another integral component of this trip is actually educating the local therapists. So over the past 11 missions, we have helped establish the Guatemalan Hand Therapy Association. We have educated therapists and surgeons in our conference on Fridays while we're here in Guatemala. Every day we have workshops in the hotel. We do educational sessions at Centro Medico. What this does for us is make sure that we not only bring our skills down here, but we are leaving something here with them, and they are building their skills in creating hand therapy practice here in Guatemala as well.
But we wanted to do more. My plan was also to begin to do some changes in the culture and in the background of some of these injuries that happen in Guatemala. Where does it all begin? And we felt that it was going back to the community. And that's when Hugo identified for us Chichoy Alto in Chimaltenango, a village 2.5 hours away from Guatemala City,
where families live on less than $3 a day.
We sat with the people of Chichoy, and although they had tremendous needs, which we tried to help in the delivery of avocado trees, in the construction of latrines and stoves, so we could provide a lot of that immediate help.
When we started helping the community of Chichoy, I went there and I asked them what their needs were, because I'm not going to bring my ideas on how to improve their lives. They know their own needs. They said, our biggest concern is education.
Kids are supposed to go to school until the 6th grade, but many of them never make it past the 4th grade. This is largely due to the fact that they cannot pay for school supplies. Instead, they end up helping their parents at home or in the field, thus continuing the cycle of poverty. 25% of the population in Guatemala is illiterate, but that number is higher than 60% in indigenous communities. 2 million children in Guatemala do not attend school, and the majority of them are girls.
So we started first by sending the children to the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, which was new for them. And we would send them to the neighboring town, and they would walk there. And soon we decided that we could do this better. We could build a school in the village of Chichoy. There was a small structure there. We worked on improving that structure.
I recently came with my son's college soccer team, and we worked on the 2nd floor of the school, and that goes into a whole bigger picture of providing education as a means to be more independent for the rest of your lives.
Now those children that were going to the neighboring town could stay local, and soon children from other villages started to come to Chichoy Alto. The news had spread. Now we were were faced with children that were completing the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And families of the Guatemala Healing Hands volunteer program began to show interest in helping individual children. We have now children being sponsored to be music teachers, carpenters, engineers, electricians. Everyone seems to have a whole new outlook in life. And it's not only for the people of Chichoy, but an example to all the other towns. And the focus on education as the key to make a difference in the future of the Guatemalan people.
Although we come down here and we spend 10 days doing surgery and treating people, what we take home is so much more important.
Hands empower people to reach their goals. Please help us and truly make a difference in the future of the children, the families, and the people of Guatemala.